Thanks for staying with us. Still on the Our Catholic Church attack that claimed the lives of more than 50 persons on Sunday. We'll be speaking with none other than the Aare Ona Kakanfo of Yorubaland, Iba Gani Adams. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning.
When things like this happen in the Yorubaland, it's always important to speak to you because you are the generalismo of the entire region, and people expect that as a leader in this regard, you can help us share some insights to how this happened, and we're caught unawares. The government was unaware. The community. There was a time where we had Sunday who would have been screaming and shouting, "Hey, come, they're here, come!" You know, there's pure silence. Nobody's talking about these things anymore. What happens, sir, in that region, and what do you think we could have done to prevent this from happening?
Well, the incident of war on Sunday in the church is highly devastating, very painful, unexpected in our region. But notwithstanding, about 5 weeks ago, we raised alarm towards this kind of incident. We have a group called Southwest Security Stakeholder Groups. The group compares about 10 different security organizations or security-relevant organizations. We have OPC, Agbekoya, Vigilante, Hunters, COMSAT, and Ishedale Yoruba organizations. And we issued a statement to allow the government, traditional rulers, and stakeholders in Yorubaland that we got an information that Yorubaland are be highly infiltrated. That if care is not taken, something serious will happen soon. We raised alarm towards that. And I believe towards that alarm and the incident that happened in Lekki, that Okada rider killed one person in Lekki, led to banning of Okada from the Lagos state government. And when you are talking about people silent on the security issues, we never silence. We have been doing all we can do in our disposal because issue of security is about government. Even though you have the power and the energy and the resources, if the government did not approve you to involve in the security of their state, you will run into trouble. Even not only states, talking of the community or local government. If the local government chairman did not back you, if the other in that community did not agree with you, and you said you have an experience, or some men that can assist on the issue of security, you run into trouble. By and large, our group, Ondo People's Congress, they are doing their own best in various communities and some villages too. You know that they normally engage them on the issue of security in the street, in the community, and even some local government chairman that was determined to make sure that there is a law and order in their local government, incorporate them to the security architecture of that local government.
All right.
So, Aare, I know that we've interviewed you. In the last interview, you mentioned how, which you reiterated now, how there's nothing the Ondo People's Congress can do without the support of the current security apparatus on ground. You need to, because you mentioned you were worried about how your actions might be, your men might get arrested. My question is, are there Ondo People's Congress men within Owo that are like paid to be on ground?
Definitely they have.
Did they have any form of intelligence? And what is their what's the capacity? What I want to understand is, to what extent could they have responded? You know, because
what happened in Owo is just like the hit and run. It's not from the information in our disposal. Those people that perpetrate this act in Owo, they don't even reside in Owo. they were being instructed to come to that church and kill and run away. And the issue of killing was not even through gun alone. They planted bombs in that church, and they made sure they guide the people with rifle shooting sporadically so that they may not escape that blast.
Okay, so
and
my question, sir.
Let me come down, please. You ask a question, please. Please. Our target, was a bush between our Ifon that we realized that we have nothing less than 1,000 to 1,200 Fulani people, not even S-men. And the information in our disposal is that there was a very lucrative solid mineral in that area, and they are exploiting. And even the Oba of War cannot drive them from that bush. Wow. And that bush is part of the land of the Oba people. And even the government have tried as much as possible to drive them away from that. They can't do it. And from the information in our disposal is that some aircrafts, let me say, like a shopper, normally bring food and different things they will use in that area. That was what we are looking on. That was what we are looking on before. And at the same second issue that was brought in the people of that His Royal Majesty, the Olowo of Owo, have done a marvelous job to curb it, is the issue of secret courts that was disturbing the peace of our people. The Oba have arranged OPC and some security relevant group, and even called the local government chairman to back them up on that. But what happened in Owo, those who came to Owo 2 days ago was not people residing in Owo. Neither they are residing in the environment of Owo. They came based on their plan and perpetrate that act and leave.
Yeah. Okay.
Aare, please, could you help me understand? Would you say that when it comes to handling people like these criminals, these killers, that we do not have the resources as a country to fight this before it gets to a situation where people are just massacred? Are we unable to secure our forests? Are we unaware of, how our forest is laid? Is it that we do not have the military, that understands the way our forest is laid? Is it that we do not have the local policing, the Amoteco? Are they aware of how our forest is laid, and can they tell beforehand if there are infiltrations? And if they can tell beforehand, would you say as a country, do we have the wherewithal, equipment-wise, intelligence-wise, to be able to forestall, attacks like this?
Well, in the beginning, when Nigeria was still a country that can be reckoned with, we have the forest guards that normally secure, their job is mainly to secure the forest. And when we are talking of the security agencies, the internal security, we have the police, we have the SSS, we have Civil Defense Corps, being security agents of Nigeria. And we now have the Amoteco, just a security outfit, not a combatant security agent of the state. But notwithstanding, issue like this, the DSS is supposed to handle it based on intelligence reports, because the job of the DSS is to gather intelligence and disseminate it to other security agencies. But unfortunately, we don't know what is happening in the security circle of Nigeria anymore. Because you will realize that out of the 6 zones that we have in Nigeria, it's only southwest that is partially safe now. But what's happening in the world, the terrorists, the bandits, maybe Boko Haram, I don't know the name I can call them, have broke the yoke on Sunday through the attack. And when you are talking of capacity, the Nigerian police, which I know, is one of the best police in the world, because, I'm an activist, I've come across different police officers when during the time I was arrested. And my interaction with them, even through interrogation, we realized that we have some best brain. But if you have the best brain, if they gather intelligence, the power that we give them the order to carry the intelligence, did they even encourage them to stop these criminal activities? A country that have resources like Nigeria, that open its eyes, that issues like this have been happening for the past 8 years, and without stopping it, you will realize that there's element of complicity from the government circle to this issue.
Okay,
And,
let me go on a break, because these are really... Let me go on a break. I'll come back to you, sir, because these are really damning, I would say, damning allegations against the federal government, because this complicity on the part of the police, or the fact that they could be culpable in this, is a major allegation, and we need to discuss it further. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have the Aare Ona Kakanfo of Yorubaland, Iba Gani Adams, with us. Sir, before the break, you were talking about the fact that our security operatives, especially the police, are very, very they're very intelligent, and you're impressed by the work that they do. However, the issue is the possibility of culpability on the part of the government. And this brings me to the question. During NSARS, we remember that a foreign news station was able to reveal to us the vehicles that came, well, the shooting that happened using satellite. Now, our question is, how much technology do we as a country have such that we can deploy to even see how these bandits or whoever they are came into the church, how they escaped, what route they take, what route they took? Is there a way we can use technology to help us, give us information to exactly where they are? Are we completely saying that this whole country cannot trace using satellite to find these people?
Well, I'm not praising Nigeria. Don't misquote me. I'm not praising Nigerian police. What I said that the Nigerian police have one of the best brain, but the political will may not allow them to act with their capacity.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I'm not praising. I'm not the PRO of Nigerian police. Neither I'm not the enemy of the police.
Okay.
But
Point taken.
what I wanted to know is that most of the country that was successful on the issue of security was as a result of intelligent gathering. And at the same time, most of the strategic places in Europe and most of the developed world, you will find a camera in the roads, especially in public places. A public place, you will find a camera in that area. The camera will be there 24 hours to monitor what is happening in the scene. If there is a crime in that area, they will fall back to that camera to make sure to know how the crime happened. But unfortunately, Nigerian security, not only Nigerian police, could not install a camera in strategic places, even in the urban area, not talking about a rural area. Owo is an urban area, it's a very big community that their population will not less than 500,000 people. Assuming we have this kind of camera in that area, even though they couldn't trace those who attacked the church by them, the minutes and the seconds of that attack, they could have traced the vehicle or even the visual of the people who commit this act on Sunday. But I don't know. They keep on saying they will install a camera in everywhere in Lagos. They keep on saying they will install a camera in the state capital. But it was not done. And we don't know the reason why.
Let's take a few more questions for you.
Let me, please, if you ask me a question, let me be detailed. That's my own way of operation.
Okay, sir.
Many institutions in Nigeria today hotel, recreation area, you will realize that they have their own private cameras. And if criminal arrive in that area, by the time he sighted camera, he will change his mind of involving in criminal activities in that area because the camera will sight you, will trace you. And at the end of the day, there will be a clue to what happened in that area. So, as a media, I think it's one of the content that you will suggest to the government that this is a matter of priority. When you go to anywhere in Britain, you will see a tiny camera. Even in the highway, you will see a tiny camera to monitor what is happening in the country.
All right.
And there's a situation room. There's a situation room to even forestall this kind of ugly incident. Maybe in many countries, 24 hours, we have the men of the security sitting down in the room. When they find person moving that is questionable, they will raise an alarm.
Yeah.
And that was one of the shortcomings about the issue of security in Nigeria.
Okay.
Secondly, intelligent gathering. You are asking, wait, my sister, you are asking that what is OPC is doing. OPC is not paid for intelligent gathering. In the level of OPC is to defend if the need arises, if there's an information, and if the community calls us upon. You know, it's still a local security, private security, not even government.
Right.
I spoke with the commander of Amotekun. A week before this incident, I called him, my brother. I'm from Ondo State. The Amotekun commander in DG Amotekun in Oyo State, DG Amotekun in Ogun State, and DG Amotekun in Osun State are coming. We always interact. I always guide them. I always support them in what they are doing. But you in Ondo State, you refuse to do so. But I see the level of arrogance from the officers. Now, after dropping my phone, I said, look at this man. You are a commander of Amotekun. I'm the Aare Ona Kakanfo of Yorubaland. I'm from Ondo State, and the manner you spoke to me, it showed that you don't need my cooperation. Wow. So security is about every group. All hands must be on deck. It's not about maybe the government give you support, you can do it alone. Even a common person can give you an information that will give you a breakthrough on the issue of security.
Right. Okay.
What is surprising to me is that, according to the victims' reports, the attackers were there for over 30 minutes, and nobody responded. Not the police, not Amotekun, not OPC. Nobody heard or saw anything that they could have done to protect those victims.
Well, I don't have any information to us that the minute they took, the minute they stayed there on the basis of operation. You read it in the newspaper, but what we heard from our own information, from our men, is that those guys went there. Some are in like a man of war uniform, and the moment they went to the altar, they dropped they detonated the bomb. And those people that want to run to altars for safety, some of them was killed through the bomb blast, and some of them was shot. That was the information we gathered, not through the media. We have our source, we have our structure. Almost every community in Yorubaland. Immediately when this incident happened, I was in the conference, in the Zoom conference. I stopped, I called our men, what actually happened. That was the brief. And I called them yesterday. And I've called some chiefs. I am trying to get Kabis Olowo to talk to them. You know, I'm from that state. So this issue is not a slap to the governor of Ondo State alone. It's a slap to me as the Aare Ona Kakanfo of Yorubaland. But unfortunately, I'm handicapped to operate. You know the way Nigerian government run their security. Even those who will help them, they perceive them as their enemy. Even those who will help them because of partisan issue, they could not call for help. The issue of security is not about government alone. I can see that you have mentioned that if somebody is in circulation, people will be shouting. The security is not about shouting in the media. If you talk too much, you will reveal all your information, all your strategy to the media, and the enemy will catch up and work against you. As Aare Ona Kakanfo of Yorubaland, the reporter that brought me, the coordinator of this program, but it took him a lot of time to convince me to run this interview. When you get to certain stage of position, you don't talk too much. You hear too much, you talk less. When you talk too much, all the information you have, you divulge it to the public. And this position is highly strategic. You don't see me just going into media and talk. Sometimes we prefer to issue a statement that we can defend. Immediately when this issue happened on Sunday, within 30 minutes, we issued a statement. After statement, coordination, talk to the people that matters in Yorubaland. How do we do it? After that, there will be a meeting. How we can convert the meeting.
You can understand why. You can understand why Nigerians are tired of these meetings. They are tired of these reactions. They are tired. We've seen it before. In fact, we can even script it for you. What we are saying to prevent this from happening again. You have said you're not well armed, or you don't even have the government support. What must we do? Is it the decentralization we've been asking for? What do we do? What do we put pressure on to ensure that this doesn't happen again? So you are well armed, your people are armed, Amotekun is well armed, everybody has regional security. That's what we're asking for, not meetings after the fact. Let's go on a break, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Before the break, I was asking a question to Gani Adams concerning the fact that Nigerians are tired of reactions and they want the government to tell us decisively what needs to be done to prevent, meaning that we don't want calls afterwards. We want something that tells us exactly what the government is doing to equip Amotekun, equip Ilubiagu, ensure that the OPCs or the community vigilantes are well equipped to handle and give them intelligence to prevent this from happening. Sir, are you still there? I'd like you to respond to that, please.
I'm here, my dear.
Yes.
Well, no matter the war situation, we still be meeting and be discussing the way forward. Without meeting and discussing the way forward, there is no way we can have a better situation. When a security threat happens, the first thing that you'll be asking is that, how did it happen? How couldn't we get the intelligence report of it? How should we avoid something like that will happen in future? So you will discuss that in the meeting. It's not about you apply fire brigade approach to the issue that happened on ground without planning. You can only plan when you head a meeting. You can only have a better strategy when you head a meeting. And you can only dictate your thoughts when you head a meeting. So no matter any war situation, I'm not the government. I'm not part of the government. I'm talking on my own level. Yeah. As the Aare Ona Kakanfo, as the leader of an organization that can assist in our own level. Okay. If the government opened the space for us to assist them, we could have done wonder. If the government even recognized our efforts, we could have done wonder. Don't forget, governor is the chief security officer of his own state. When they are holding their security meeting, no government ever called Aare Ona Kakanfo. Even in the local government, even in the local government level, we are just doing our own assistance on the sideline so that we can assist. And most of the...
There's a question I want to ask you. I can't ask it in English because it do not mean the same thing in English. You know, it's a question I have to ask in Yoruba, and I just hope that somebody can translate it.
And you let me conclude. When you ask a question, let me conclude what I'm saying.
Okay, sir.
I'm a detailed person.
Okay, sir.
When you say one word, I can handle it with 25, 30 minutes. So the issue of security, this is a traditional position. It's not like the whole Oyo Empire that Aare is part of the government. It's a traditional position. And the only advantage I have is that I have a group that is relevant on security. And I've brought about 10 different groups that is working in various communities. I can't even coordinate all the reports that happen in various communities. We are talking of the one that happened, that affected us. What of the many breakthroughs that this group have succeeded on in different communities? I was in the various ceremony of Alaafin for your Saturday. I side beside Kadesi of Shaki, he was given a very good commendation with the Organization of Southwest Security Stakeholders, what they are doing in the Okegun area. But unfortunately, a day after, we have the sad news in Owo. But what we do, we continue sitting and mapping strategy, how we can stop something like that in future occurrence. So it's a matter of sitting down, engaging ourselves a way forward about it.
All right,
I'm not a politician, I'm not in the government, I'm not in the circle of the security agency, but the little I can do based on my position is what I'm doing.
All right, so my question therefore is, based on what you just said, as a traditionalist, would expect some level of traditional strategy in things like this. And that's why I said it was difficult for me to ask it in English, because it won't carry the kind of weight I wanted to carry. And it's question, because people ask, like, do we still have that traditional way of predetermining things or knowing that, okay, this is going to happen to our land or something? The Oba sit down together. Do they come and say, okay, this is what Ifa is saying, this is what something is saying, that, you know, to forestall stuff like this? So when you see Obas, you think that these are men that have some kind of, you know, powers. And then these things that happen, I'm wondering, what happened to the traditionalist power of the Yoruba people? Do we still have it?
Yoruba she logo, but owó nothing show.
Right.
Owó nothing shit.
Right.
And even the two religions, Muslim and Christian, have their own way of defense, but it's resources. Did I have a vote towards that? From even the lowest level of government, local government, the local government chairman in my own Lagos State here, even know that how is he surviving? So when you are talking about Yoruba is let me tell you in Yorubaland, ogun tí ẹlòmíì bá fi ogójì ọdún ṣe àbí ogún ọdún ṣe láàárín ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún lólówó agbógbó lẹ̀ lágbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. And ọmọdé ń sọ wípé ètùtù àbí sàárà owó náà fi olówó ló ń ṣe o. Wọ́n ní bí ọwọ́ ikú bá ṣe mọ ló fi ń bọjú.
Yes, you asked for Yoruba.
What I'm doing in my own level is about my own capacity. Thank God we have a better understanding of DG Amotekun in Oyo State that I always request my own maximum cooperation. You know, the Oyo State is the worst situation of insecurity in Southwest last 2 years and last year. But we work together, and the issue of insecurity reduced in Oyo State. And I realized that after the bandits or the terrorists have realized that they don't have any way to hide in Oyo State, they have to move to Ondo State. Before the incident of Oyo, a lot of things have happened in Ondo, especially in Ifon area, and Owo. A lot has happened. But the one that happened on Sunday has a religion undertone. And I foresee a situation that these people want to cause religion crisis in Nigeria. So we should look beyond the issue of Fulani herdsmen. What happened in Owo has a religion undertone. And we have to be very careful, because in Yorubaland we believe in secularity. We don't fight on the issue of religion. Okay. We have a family that we have Christian, Muslim, and traditionalists. And
we have very little time, sir. So I have to throw in last question from. I have very little time. So I can talk about final questions.
I want to pass a message. We have to be very conscious that they don't import the religion crisis to Yorubaland. Because how can you go to the church and kill about 100 people? Definitely, those who done that go beyond Fulani herdsmen we are talking. They are religion fanatics. They want to trigger crisis from the Christian community. And I appeal to the Christian community that we should be very conscious to handle these issues. We should not allow any person from other regions to come and provoke us in our region.
Okay.
Definitely those who involved in this act, they will meet their Waterloo soon as possible. We work with everything we have in our disposal to make sure that they regret this act.
Let me throw 2 questions for you and we're done. Waike and Tokwe.
Yeah. Have you reached out to various state governments offering your help as a security outfit? Because I remember the time of OPC in Lagos, they actually made some headway. Have you reached out to these governors like Akeredolu, Fayemi? Have you reached out to them to offer your services? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is the Ogun that we Yorubas have. Has it not been adulterated by Christianity and Islam?
That's not the angle.
Well, thank you for the two questions. The first one, last year I wrote all the 6 governors in Southwest State that I want them to give me an appointment. I want to discuss security matter with them. Only 2 of them give me an audience. That was Oyo State and Ekiti State. Okay. Even to the extent that I wrote a reminder to them, I have never met the remaining 4. That was Oyo State and Ekiti State. I met Governor Fayemi. I met Governor Sheima today. We spoke extensively on the issue of security. And we have an understanding. But unfortunately, the Ondo State Governor could not invite me for the letter for my request and other governor in the state. And the second aspect of the question is that, well, although we are talking of maybe the modern religion have adulterate our traditional defense, definitely I would say yes or no. Yes is that the religions have taken a lot of things from us. Some of our people did not know the difference between religion, culture, and tradition. There is difference between religion, culture, and tradition. When you say you don't want to have anything about leaf or haba, you are taking a herb tea brought by the Chinese people, and they are selling it for you in a harsh, in a foreign currency. You bought it in Nigeria, but in a high side. You are taking a herbal tea from different countries in Europe, and you enjoy it. Slim tea, reducing the sugar, reducing the BP. You are taking it, and it's being made through their leaf and traditional way in their country. You enjoy it. You are proud of it as a born-again Christian or Muslim. But there is unfortunate that Yoruba don't appreciate what God given to you.
Okay.
It was even written sorry, my sister. It was even written in the Bible that, well, I'm a Muslim by birth, and my mother was a serious Christian. It took us to church. Right. I know much about Christianity. But that will not say I will jettison anything about our traditional belief in Yorubaland. Okay.
So thank you so much,
I'm wondering about this issue. But our traditional issue, we will assist us if we have an understanding about it on the issue of insecurity and other things in Yorubaland.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Aare Ona Kakanfo, the generalismo of Yorubaland. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Gani Adams. That's all we can take on this segment. When we return, move on to another segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.